This is the Marvel Legends series from the Venom wave of the Monster Venom Build-A-Figure wave, Venom and Carnage. Alright, here is a quick look at the packaging. One thing I do like about this new wave is that the white packaging really brings out the darkness of the Venom symbiote, as it were. And here is the Venom package. Okay. And here is the Carnage packaging. Alright. Very nice. And here's the rest of the figures that you will need pieces from to build the Monster Venom BAF, or Build-A-Figure. Each case of 8 will have one of each of these and 2 of each of these Venom and Carnage figures. I'm doing them together because, well, for one thing, they are sort of redecos, repacks of previously released Marvel Legends figures of the same names, of Venom and Carnage. Now, I don't have those figures anymore since I've already gotten rid of them for reasons I've already revealed in my other video reviews. But if you're curious, this is the Venom that was released in the Absorbing Man wave, and it was the McFarlane Venom, and most of you already know how I feel about this figure. And this is the Carnage that was released in the Ultimate Green Goblin wave, BAF wave. So looking at the figures, they look great. If you've never had a Venom figure or a Carnage figure before in the Marvel Legends line, this is a perfect time to actually get these two. From what I've shown you, this one appears to be the exact same figure, maybe less glossy black plastic that they've used on this redeco of the mold. This original figure had 2 pairs of hands, the closed fist ones and the open ones. For this figure, they only included the closed fist ones and no open grabbing hands. They didn't include the smiling Venom face, which everybody know, most of you guys know how I feel about that. They've included this one. I think this is a better head for me, instead of the other head that came with that was the one with the tongue, very dirty looking head sculpt. I thought this was actually a nicer head sculpt than that, and more importantly, they've given this figure an Eddie Brock unmasked head sculpt, and it's pretty loose. It's easy to remove. They've also given him a sort of some symbiote effects when the symbiote unmasks Eddie Brock and reveals the face. I don't think this thing does too much for the figure. If at all, it just feels like extra tendrils growing out of him. They should have cropped it a little bit closer like this, so that it'll have that effect that it's like unmasking Brock. But I think it's too far apart. They look like seaweeds, and sorry, not a big fan. This mold, really not that big of a fan. Okay, the closed fists are okay, but I wish they would have given him one closed fist and another one like this. You know, since Venom does that a lot. I thought I would like this figure better now. I thought they would tweak it a bit, but I still feel the same about it. It's really not doing it for me as a Venom figure. It's okay if you're the casual collector, but if you want a more detailed look on Venom, there are other Venom figures out there. So articulation is going to be the same for this one. As you've seen me pose it, it's the same. Detail wise, like I said, the limbs are glossy, the torso is very matte. You get that white spider logo on his uniform. I love the head sculpts. The new head sculpts are really what's selling this figure for me, but other than that, I don't see any concrete reason to really be wowed about this figure to just go out and buy it immediately. Okay, all right, on to the Carnage figure. And as you can see, it looks exactly the same figure. Maybe they've changed the shade of the red plastic a little bit, but it looks the same. They've kept the head sculpt identical. I think it's it looks like the exact same one, maybe a little bit darker, but it feels like, looks like the exact same one. They've kept the original hands of the figure. The backpack is still included. What they did add, I think this figure has more value added than the Venom figure, is that they've given him a new pair of hands and a Cletus Cassidy head sculpt. I thought that made all the difference for this figure, as much as it did for the Venom figure. But the new hands, I think, is a welcome addition, because that really completed this Carnage figure. If you've never been able to purchase this figure since I've seen a lot of the peg warmers. The Toxin figure was the peg warmer, and this one was just really scooped up. Now is a perfect time to get it. If you really love that figure, I suggest this is the version you want to get. Now the hands, the new hands, is a closed fist with that scythe or axe or whatever that he usually uses to murder people. It is on a ball hinge wrist, and it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty stable, and the elbow seems to be able to keep it upright or to hold it. That's great. This one is really just an open claw, just sort of like a bigger version of this one with some extra tendrils. So I thought that was okay. It would have been better if perhaps instead of a claw they would have given him that sword or that spike that he used to impale. Another weapon that would have been great. Since we already have claws here, maybe that would have been better. But as it is, it's still great. To me, this Carnage lacked a little bit intimidation as a sculpt, but this new version with the Cletus Cassidy head, I'm really liking it. But then again, should you get these figures? In my opinion, if you already have the previous figures, there's no need to rush out and get them. If you are the completist, you must have it. You have a classic shelf of comic series, Spider-Man figures and villains. Yes, by all means get it. But don't pay scalper prices for them. They are on retail and they are worth only $20 in my opinion. Here in Manila, they're going for $28. But my advice, if you're not really in a hurry to buy these figures, I suggest you wait for them on clearance, since there's 2 per case for each figure. They're not going to be very difficult to find, especially if the store gets a lot of deliveries frequently. If you're the casual collector and you just need a Venom or Carnage figure, by all means, these are perfect for you. But if you want a bit better Carnage or a better Venom figure, then for me personally, I think there are other options. If you want better detailed renditions of Venom and Carnage, my suggestion is, if you have the means to get so, or if you want to save up for it, it's the Kyoto's Amazing Yamaguchi, the figure complex Amazing Yamaguchi Venom and Carnage. I think these two are a better representation of these two Spider-Man villains. If you need an absolutely magnificent figure on your shelf, I think it's Yamaguchi. These Revoltech figures, I think, do justice to these characters. But then again, you know, they're very detailed. They're very expensive. They cost about $60 or $70 right now, and I think they're really just for the hardcore collector of these Marvel figures. And like I said, if you're just a casual collector, these two will suffice. But if you want a very detailed, more definitive version of these figures, I personally recommend these two. But take nothing away from these two figures. I mean, they're okay. I've had my issues with both of them. But as Marvel Legends Spider-Man villains that you need on your shelf, they will suffice. But if you want just hardcore Venom and Carnage, Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech is the way to go. So there you go, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the video review. This has been the Marvel Legends series from the Monster Venom BAF Venom Marvel Legends Wave Venom Carnage figures, both with the new head sculpts. Very nice. Thanks for watching. Just trying to do justice to the Marvel Legends figures versus the Amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech figures. I mean, you be the judge. Is it Marvel Legends for you, or is it the Revoltech figures for you?